The phone slipped from my hand, clattering onto the hardwood floor with a sound that echoed like a gunshot in the silent apartment. Her text glowed on the cracked screen. Landed safely in Chicago. Miss you already. My chest tightened, a fist squeezing my lungs. Chicago. She'd said the conference was in Denver. My thumb hovered over the reply button. But my mind was already spiraling, replaying every glance, every late night, every half-truth that had slipped through the cracks of our 3-year relationship. I stared at the photo on the fridge, Lila's arms around me, her smile wide and warm at last summer's lake house, and felt the first splinter of doubt pierce my heart. I sank onto the couch, the leather cold against my skin, and tried to rationalize it. Maybe she'd misspoken. Maybe the conference had moved cities. Lila was meticulous, a planner to a fault. Her color-coded calendars hung on our kitchen wall like modern art. A mix-up like this wasn't her. I opened my laptop, fingers trembling as I typed her name into a search bar alongside Chicago Conference. Nothing. No events matched her description of a 3-day marketing summit. My pulse thudded in my ears, a drumbeat of dread. I checked her airline's website, entering the flight number she'd casually mentioned over breakfast. The itinerary loaded. Chicago, not Denver. My stomach churned. I paced the apartment. The city's hum filtering through the open window, distant horns, the low growl of buses, a street performer's saxophone weaving through the dusk. Every sound felt amplified, accusing. I called her, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Hey babe, I said when she answered, forcing a smile into my tone. How's Denver treating you? Her laugh was light, practiced. Oh, same old conference stuff. Panels, networking, bad coffee. How's home? Quiet without you. I swallowed the lump in my throat. You're in Denver, right? Not say Chicago. A pause. Barely a second, but it stretched like a lifetime. What? No, I'm in Denver. Why would you think Chicago? Her voice was smooth, but there was an edge, a hairline fracture in her usual confidence. Just a weird text you sent. Said you landed in Chicago. I kept my tone light, but my grip on the phone tightened. Oh God, did I? Typo. My brain's fried from travel. She laughed again, but it sounded hollow, like wind through an empty bottle. I'm in Denver, promise. Gotta run though, dinner with the team. Love you. Love you too, I said, but she'd already hung up. The apartment felt smaller, the walls pressing in. I stared at the phone, her text still open. Landed safely in Chicago. A typo? Or a truth she hadn't meant to let slip? I couldn't sleep that night. The bed was too big, her side cold and untouched. I lay there, eyes tracing the ceiling's cracks, my mind replaying every moment of the past few months. The late nights at the office. The new perfume she'd started wearing, sharp and unfamiliar. The way her phone was always face down now, notifications silenced. Each memory was a breadcrumb, leading me somewhere I didn't want to go. By 3 a.m., I was on her social media, scrolling through posts she hadn't tagged me in. A photo from last week, her at a rooftop bar, smiling with a man I didn't recognize. His hand rested on her shoulder, casual but intimate. The caption, "Great night with great company." My heart stuttered. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I became a detective in my own life, piecing together clues I'd ignored for too long. I checked our shared credit card statement. Charges at a Chicago hotel, a restaurant, a boutique. All places she'd never mentioned. I found a receipt in her coat pocket, crumpled and forgotten. A coffee shop in Chicago, dated yesterday. My hands shook as I held it, the paper thin and fragile, like the trust I'd built with her. The next day, I called her best friend Sarah. Hey, have you heard from Lila? I asked, keeping my voice neutral. She's been so busy with this conference. Sarah hesitated, her breath catching. Yeah, she mentioned it. Denver, right? Chicago. I corrected, testing her. Oh, right, Chicago. Sorry, I get her trips mixed up. Sarah's laugh was nervous, too quick. She knew something. I pressed, but she deflected, claiming a work call. The betrayal wasn't just Lila's anymore. It was spreading, tainting everyone close to her. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, a glass of whiskey untouched in front of me. The city lights blinked through the window, indifferent to my unraveling. I opened my laptop again, this time logging into her email with a password she'd shared years ago, back when trust was a given. My heart pounded as I scrolled through her inbox. There it was, an email from a man named Ethan. Can't wait to see you in Chicago. Room 412, same hotel as last time. Don't tell him. The words blurred as tears stung my eyes. Last time. This wasn't a one-off. This was a pattern, a secret life she'd built behind my back. I wanted to scream, to call her and demand answers, but I waited. I needed to see it through. The next morning, her final day away, I booked a flight to Chicago. The plane ride was a blur, my mind caught between rage and heartbreak. I imagined confronting her, seeing the truth in her eyes. I imagined forgiving her, because despite everything, I still loved her. That was the worst part. The love that refused to die, even as it choked me. The hotel lobby was sleek, all glass and marble, the kind of place Lila loved. I took the elevator to the 4th floor, my heart hammering as I approached room 412. I knocked, my fist heavy against the wood. The door opened, and there she was, Lila, her hair loose, her face bare of makeup, beautiful and guilty. Behind her a man, Ethan I presumed, froze, a glass of wine in his hand. "Mark," she whispered, her voice breaking. "What are you doing here?" I could ask you the same thing. My voice was steady, but inside I was shattering. "Chicago, huh? Funny how it's not Denver." Her eyes filled with tears, but she didn't deny it. Ethan stepped forward, stammering an apology, but I ignored him. This was about her, about us. "How long?" I asked, my voice low, dangerous. 6 months, she admitted, her voice barely audible. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just did. I laughed, a bitter, broken sound. It just happened. For 6 months. In secret. While I was planning our future. "I love you," she said, stepping toward me. "I do. I was going to end it. I just don't." I held up a hand, stopping her. "Don't lie to me anymore." I turned to leave, but she grabbed my arm. "Please, Mark. Let's talk. I can explain." I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw a stranger. The woman I'd loved was gone, replaced by someone who could lie so easily, who could build a life with me while tearing it apart. "There's nothing to explain," I said, pulling free. "You made your choice." As I walked away, the hallway seemed to stretch forever, each step heavier than the last. My phone buzzed, a text from her, a desperate plea for forgiveness. I deleted it without reading. The elevator doors closed, and I leaned against the wall, my breath ragged. I'd come for answers, but what I'd found was worse. The truth that love could be a lie, that trust could be a house built on sand. Back in our apartment, I packed a bag. Her calendars still hung on the wall, mocking me with their precision. I tore them down, the paper ripping like my heart. I left the key on the counter, next to the photo from the lake house. As I walked out, the city's noise swallowed me, and I realized the twist wasn't her betrayal, it was mine. I'd betrayed myself, ignoring the signs, clinging to a love that was already gone.